DuPont Circle in the early 1920s was being developed into larger, expensive homes for the wealthy, and for Wilson, the outgoing president of the United States, here in the house on S Street, right uphill from DuPont Circle. Inauguration Day was March 4th. While Wilson was going with his successor, Warren Harding, to the Capitol building, movers just moved the Wilsons' personal possessions from the White House to here. Everything was moved in that very tiny window between him getting up and dressed in the morning and arriving here after dropping Harding off at the U.S. Capitol to be sworn in. Wilson's time was basically spent on 3 main floors. He could have morning meals in the solarium, beautiful room, lots of great views. He could ride down the elevator in the morning and go to the dugout, which was turned into an office. He was allowed 1 guest a day by his doctors and would talk with them in the library, which was really his room for meeting visitors. The house was made for entertaining. They had 2 permanent staff. Mary Scott was the head cook, and Isaac was Wilson's valet. There's a back stairwell that goes to the servants' quarters at the top. There's a dumbwaiter that goes up from the ground floor kitchen to the next floor up with the dining room and butler's pantry where it could be served. Wilson lived here until early February of 1924, and his second wife, Edith, maintained the home, intending for it to one day be a museum for her husband. So the house is very much overwhelmingly what you would have seen when he lived here in the early 1920s.
To this day, we still like to use this house in a very intimate, gathering way. We also have programs like Vintage Game Night, where we invite the public in and they can actually play vintage board games in the home of the 28th president. These games were really popular in the early 1920s. We've got Camelot, we've got Snakes and Ladders, and then Mahjong. It is a Chinese gambling game, and Edith loved to play it. We actually have her very own Mahjong set. So Pit is a strategy card game where you basically have to corner the market on certain goods. It's usually the game that people get the most into.
Right here, read 'em and weep, baby.
Well, I think this event is very different. You're playing just as how people in the past did.
It kind of feels like we're just like at a friend's house, but it's Woodrow Wilson's house. This is a very cool, once-in-a-lifetime experience.